Hey, what's going on YouTube world, fellow drivers? It's Sebastian with Spin Driving School. Today, we are going to talk about confidence. How do you get it? Where do you get it? Where does it come from? Can't find it at a store. Doesn't grow on trees. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. It's the only place you're going to get confidence is from within, from yourself. You're not going to get it from me as an instructor, from your parents, from your teachers, etc., etc. Now, can other people help you or boost your confidence? Of course, yes, 100%. But the initial confidence comes from within, and it's hard to find. And some people have a bigger, higher percentage of it, etc., etc. Obviously, depending on what you do and how you apply it. But when it comes to driving, the only shortcut you're going to get is practice at the end of the day. It's the more you drive, the more you practice, and the more you experience and expose yourself to, then the better you're going to get, the more weapons you will have in your so-called arsenal, if you will. So driving schools and driving lessons are not meant to give you confidence. They are meant to give you a building block or a building foundation or a blueprint for what you're going to do with that, and then apply it in your real life situations when you are driving with, your supervisors or whoever you're driving with, and then eventually transitioning into driving by yourself, because that's how you truly hone your skills as a driver, is driving by yourself, not relying on me or anyone else to tell you what to do and how to do it. If it is okay, or if it isn't, is it safe, is it not? You need to get to a point where you are making those decisions yourself, and only then your confidence will grow and you will get better. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Do not be afraid to mess up. We all do. I've gotten into plenty of accidents. Well, not plenty, because that sounds terrible, but I've had few. I've only caused maybe 2 technically in my career, but I've been rear-ended multiple times, actually 3 or 4 times in 1 year. That was a bad year, but anyways, it does happen. But the only point I'm trying to make is, learn from them, and then obviously if it's your fault, then minimize those risks, because that's always is going to be a goal as a driver, is to minimize the risks that you put yourself and others into. This is why defensive driving is so important, because 90% of accidents are avoidable, especially the ones in the intersection. Most of them happen because people are just not prepared. They don't know what they're doing the wrong thing, or they're not paying attention, which that's probably nowadays is the most common reason why we have so many accidents, because people are not paying attention. Everyone is on their phones. Anyways, sidetracking here. The whole point I'm trying to make is the more you practice and the more you think, the more you practice and the more things you expose yourself to driving related, the better you're going to get. Obviously, what I'm talking about are things like weather, different environments, different traffic patterns, different cities, different times of the day, from obviously nighttime to daytime to midday to that way you will get different traffic patterns or congestion or volume, whatever you want to call it. Driving in different weather, shine, rain, snow. I would from time to time take my students to a parking lot in the snow. Possibly maybe we'll do some donuts, or learn how to control the car in those situations, right? Because here in Vancouver, we don't get as much snow as, let's say, out east. I used to live in Ontario, and in Ontario, people drive in the snow all the time, so we're used to it and not a problem, though different kind of snow. So here our snow is a little bit more wet, and that's definitely a lot different than driving on nice powder. 2 different things, but the point I'm trying to make is the more you will experience, the better you're going to be as a driver, as a whole driver. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So challenge yourself. Don't drive the same routes all the time. Driving with your parents from home to, school or your dance studio or whatever, that's great. It is practice at the end of the day, but you need to be challenging yourself and, grow as a driver. Keep honing those skills. From, the earlier you start, the better you're going to get, obviously as an adult. That goes without saying. So, don't sit on those L's and those N's for too long, because just because you've had your license for 10 years doesn't mean that you've been driving for 10 years. And I see it all the time where people have had their license for, 5-10 years, or you're coming from another country and you haven't driven here before. And that experience might not be comparable to, here, because the way we drive here is differently than we drive in other countries. So again, bit of a side note, but these things are also important. So yeah, again, test yourself, test your skills, test your car, test the responsiveness of your car, of your tires, of, learn how to control the steering wheel, how much you need to turn the wheel to get the car to go where you want it to go. Play with the accelerator and with the brake. I'm not saying go out there and be fast and furious or, Tokyo drift, but there are places and areas where you can do these things safely and, with common sense and in the way that you will learn from it, and it would improve you or it would make the improvements necessary to make you a better driver. So that's the whole point. Practice, practice, practice. Challenge yourself. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. We all get nervous, and it takes a long time to become a good, defensive, skillful driver. So keep honing those skills and stay safe and keep practicing, and stay tuned for more videos. Take care.